I'll do it quick. Hey, y'all, there's the car that's parked just to the right of my maroon truck in the corner out there. The trunk had popped open, so if that's yours, okay. I was going to offer to go out and do it if you needed me to, but anyway. Thank you.
I closed it.
Oh, did you close? Did you close? It popped open again.
Yeah, it wasn't popped back up. No, I think it's a Prius. It's open now.
It's still open. All right, everyone. Good evening. This is Tenzin. Welcome to today's meditation practice and Dharma talk. Is there anyone here for the first time? Welcome, warm welcome. Enjoy. Just a few announcements before we start. Please silence your cell phones so we can be fully present for the talk and meditation. We invite you to join us for our weekly Tuesday events with Medicine Buddha practice at 6 p.m. and our public talk at 7 p.m. Next week, for our Tuesday evening talk, Venerable Geshe will continue to speak on the 37 practices of a Bodhisattva. Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m., our Venerable monks will conduct evening prayers for His Holiness the Dalai Lama's long life and all other teachers. On Thursdays at 4:30 p.m., our Venerable monks will conduct protector puja for smooth journeys, success of interviews, medical treatments, new businesses, and others. And now our popular 5-class foundation series continues this Saturday with Vipassana meditation, cultivating personal insight into our inner world of thoughts, reaction, and emotions. This one-day retreat via Zoom, focusing on special insight meditation for gaining insight into one's body, sensations, mind, and mental processes through the applications of skillful mindfulness. This series is a prerequisite for the intermediate series and other retreats. As a reminder, please do not park on the grass along the driveway or behind the building. Information on all those events can be found in the lobby and on our website at drepung.org. If you'd like to volunteer, please let us know. Let Michael Duffel know. Where is he? Somewhere. I think he left. There he is, in the back. All right. So, also, if you are interested into becoming a member, to be able to support our ongoing programs, take advantage of benefits like discounts on courses, retreats, applications are in the library, or you can register online. There's a donation box near the entrance of this room. Your generous support helps us to continue to offer our programs and services to our Atlanta community and to those around the world through our online platforms. Now, please stand as we invite our resident teacher, Venerable Geshe to come in for this evening's talk. Thank you and enjoy.
Okay, now first we're going to recite the mantra of Heart Sutra. Taya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha taya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha taya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha taya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha taya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha taya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha taya tha gati gati para gati para sangati bodhi soha. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. Oy so shi pi ji jo shi ai me to chama ri ro li shi ni ai de ge ba di san ge shi do mi de pe wa ye do ye nama da shi la che ba sho idam guru ratna mendala kamniya taya me. So today, the teaching 37 practices of Bodhisattva. Today's sixth stanza. So among the seventh kind of the preliminary practice, so today we are sixth one. So here, first I recite in Tibetan, Kangshi tena nyeba se gyurshin yunde yangwe tatar pe gyurwe shinyi tamba rangi lu le chang jebar tsimba kyase lak le yins. When you rely on them, your faults comes to an end, and your good qualities grow like the waxing moon. Cherish the spiritual teacher even more than your own body. This is the practices of bodhisattvas. So this stanza is showing relying on spiritual teacher or spiritual friends. So as a Buddhist practitioner, teacher is one of the very, very important. We need it. And without teacher, I think it's very, very difficult to achieve any of these realizations. The reason is any realization, in order to achieve, first you need to know, you need to understand. So in order to understand that, you need to find the qualified teachers. Without having qualified teacher, it's very, very difficult to achieve any of this realization. So that is why here saying you need to find the qualified teacher, then you need to cherish that spiritual teacher even more than your own body. The reason is when you are much closer to your qualified teacher, you are getting much closer to the Dharma, right? Realization. Because student and teacher's relationship is a Dharma relationship. It's not about politics. It's not about the money. It's nothing, anything's mundane thing. It is about the spiritual, right? It's the Dharma relationship. As long as when you have much closer to them, for you, it's get more opportunity to learn the Dharma, to understanding the Dharma better. It can influence you, inspire you to practice the Dharma. So that is why you're saying, cherish your spiritual teacher. So, what are the qualifications of the spiritual teacher? Why we need to cherish, why we need to have spiritual teachers? Here they're saying, when you rely on them, your faults come to an end. That's the first reason. Because as the human beings, we do not want sufferings, right? We always want to achieve happiness. So relying on the teacher means when you rely on them, your faults come to an end. That doesn't mean, teacher do some blessing or something, then my faults will be going to end. It's not about that. Sometimes people have kind of the, I'm not sure, superstitious. I go to this master and master bless me, then all my problem will solve. My problem is solved. That kind of belief that people have. But this is not the main point here. When you rely on them, your faults come to an end. What that means? That means according to Buddhist philosophy, all the faults arise from ignorance, right? All our mistake coming from our ignorance. So ignorance is the root causes of all our sufferings. Generally, every being wants to live happy. Whatever we choose lifestyle, whatever we act, is for sake of happiness. But we're not getting that. Instead of happy, we all suffer, right? We're all sufferings. Reason why? Because of that ignorance. We really do not know what is the true happiness. We don't know what are the main causes of happiness. We don't know what are the fundamental causes of suffering. All of this not knowing, it's called the ignorance, right? When we talk about the ignorance, there are general, many different layers, types of ignorance. But all this ignorance, you put it into two. One ignorance which called not knowing is the ignorance, causes of problem. Another one, misunderstanding, completely wrong understanding, called the wrong view, wrong perception, is another type of the ignorance. So these are the two which we have, not knowing or completely wrong understanding, misperception. Among these two, misperceptions are the most danger, wrong consciousness. So that when they describe the wrong consciousness, there are many different layers, aspect of the wrong consciousness which we have. Among one of the root, the wrong consciousness which we call mind of self-grasping, mind of ego-grasping, is the fundamental, ignorance, causes all our mental afflictions. Of course, we can go furthermore to explain, self-grasping. The mind of self-grasping is the fundamental causes of all the mental affliction. Mind of self-grasping is the fundamental causes of whole samsara, right? All the sufferings. We can go furthermore, explanation on this, because this part, Buddhism has so deep, detailed information about this self-grasping, how much it creates suffering, what is this mind is grasping, right? What are the antidote of this, all this detail. But this will come later during the actual teaching, actual practice, where these are comes. But here, so what the main we need to understand is, so the fundamental causes of our suffering is not knowing, right? I mentioned earlier the ignorance. So in order to overcome this ignorance, just pray to the teacher, just offer money or something to the teacher, that alone, of course, is not going to clear your ignorance, right? How? It's not make sense, right? So rely on teacher. What that means in order to overcome that ignorance, you need to cultivate wisdom, knowledge. Your wisdom, your realization, your knowledge is the only can change your ignorance, can remove your ignorance. That's the only way. There's no any other choice, right? So, for instance, I use that example quite oftenly because of the majority of people have been experiencing this suffering. For instance, the person who every morning have to drink the coffee, right? So then this pandemic started. All the restaurants and shops are closed. So there's no coffee shop, right? So now that person, he always suffer, morning always suffer because of not having the coffee, right? He's running, looking, so suffering. So since morning suffer, then next day he's concerned, tomorrow I was not going to get this coffee, so it's worry constantly, right? This suffering, external condition because the shops are not open, right, closed. But this is not main causes. Main causes is your ignorance, because you do not know how to make a coffee, right? If you know how to make a coffee, no problem. Even shop closed, you can make yourself in your home. You don't have any problems, right? So the fundamental cause is not knowing. You don't know how to make it. That not knowing, that ignorance, whole day you suffer, right? Suffering of not having coffee. One day, next day, that's how we suffer. This is just small example, right? There are many of these problems, the ignorance which we have. So each of those ignorance are the one who creating our problems. So to get rid of that ignorance, you go to the teacher, I offer you money, pray, please, help me to get the coffee. I'm not going to get the coffee, right? It makes sense, the common. It's not going to work. What you do? I go to the teacher to learn how to make a coffee. So based on, if your teacher who know very well about the coffee, you have more advantages. The teacher who teach you the coffee, he do not know that much, then you can get that same result. So qualification teacher, the way you rely on the coffee maker teacher, if you are very good coffee teacher, then you learn perfectly. Then when you get back to your home, you can make delicious coffee, right? You enjoy it. So you relying on that teacher is for what? To overcome your ignorance, who do not know how to make a coffee. So you go there to learn how to make it. That's why rely on teacher. What's the benefit? You know, now you solve your problems. That's the benefit. Right? A simple example. So rely on teacher means like that. It's not just, oh, this is great, blessing, high master, blah, blah, blah. Get some blessing. And that's all. That's what? That's the pointless. Of course, little blessing, your faith or something, but in the real reality, it didn't work. So relying on the teacher from the Buddhist perspective is knowledge. We learn the Dharma, knowledge, teachings, Buddha's teachings. Buddha's teachings, what are there? These are the message of how to overcome suffering, how to achieve happiness. These kind of message, these kind of philosophy, right? These kind of knowledge, we need to learn from our teacher, then yourself implement it, right? Utilize, implement. Then you can reach your goal. So therefore, here, it is saying, when you rely on them, your faults come to an end. That type of teacher. So our faults, I mentioned earlier, our mistake coming from our ignorance, not knowing. So relying on teacher to help us means I learn from my teacher how to overcome my ignorance, how to overcome my wrong consciousness, right? My mistake, my faults, all of this knowledge, you learn from them. So when you learn from them, then you know how to do it, then you utilize, you practice. That's how your faults slowly change, right? It changed that. For instance, like one of the lower, beginners as a teacher from the Buddhist perspective, we rely on the teacher to how to, behave. For instance, we're talking about the karma, right? Actions, your non-virtuous actions, your violent behavior, stealing, killing, lying, all kind of those behaves are the causes of suffering. We're learning these things. So when you learn, when you understand, each of these wrong actions are the causes of suffering. When you learn that from your teacher, then next you hesitate to use those actions. You try to avoid it. Even you knowing these are the wrong, knowing these are the causes of suffering, that knowledge change your behavior. Don't lie, don't steal, don't kill them, right? Don't use harsh word, like all those knowledge. So that's changing your faults. Less lying, less violent. When you change your behavior, many problems will change, right? Your faults are changing. So these things first we need to learn from somebody else. Otherwise, when there's nobody teach us, we do not know. So some children, when they see the little insects, like a cockroach or spider, they just kill them, right? They just kill them. Nothing hesitate, nothing worry, nothing. It just kill it. So when they got this kind of message, they have no feel any concern to harm to any other beings that behave. They not learn to anybody. So that's how their behavior will remain that. Right? Slowly it's getting bigger. Like birds, kill the birds. Kill those beautiful butterflies or anything there. Slowly kill the animals. Then slowly kill human beings. Right? That's how it's. They have no hesitate to take others' life. This they need to learn from somebody else, from little children. Oh, don't do this. Right? If you do killing this action is the causes of your suffering. Future, you will be suffer that. Or you kill these things, these little animals suffer. Right? All kind of knowledge, like a sympathy to others, well-being, other feeling, respect the other's life, other feeling. This they need to learn. So without learning these things, their behaviors become wild, even little things. So they need this. It's called spiritual teacher. Right? Who teach them to go to the better person, better behaves. So therefore, when you rely on them, your faults come to an end. Slowly, right? First from the behave, then go much deeper, your mental afflictions, your negative emotions, even the very subtle negative emotions. So all these layers of the negative emotion which we have. So we need to know how to clean them, how to overcome them. So in order to know these things, we need the teacher who knows these things, right? So that's why when you rely on them, faults come to an end. And your good qualities grow like a waxing moon. So your good qualities, the inner quality, like love, compassion, right? Patience, tolerance, your wisdom, your bodhicitta, there are many different types of the realizations will grow like a waxing moon because you learn from the teacher. And teacher is not only teaching, he or she as your inspiration, can inspire you. He can also guide you, supports your practice, so you rely on closer to them. These inner good qualities are day by day, you grow, right? Like a waxing moons. So that type of the person is very important for the beginner practitioner. When you not reach anything, you need that kind of, some kind of raw model. You need inspiration. So that person, teacher, you should cherish your spiritual teacher, even more than your own body, more than, because you are more closer, more cherish them, you benefit much better. For the Buddhist perspective, much faster to achieve enlightenment, Buddhahood, right? Enlightenment, Buddhahood, it's not some kind of the external realms. It's internal, which is freedom of your ignorance, freedom of your destructive emotions, right? Your mental afflictions. That cessations of your afflictive and cognitive obscuration is the enlightenment. This is mental quality. So that's when you reach it, your suffering is ended, because there's no any causes of suffering there. If causes is not there, of course then result, of course not, right? If cause is not there, how can result there? So all this suffering comes from causes. So that is why you need to cherish to your spiritual teacher. So now I mentioned first practitioner, it is very important to find qualified teachers. That's the first thing. Because like even traditionally, Buddhists, like my situation, I grew up in born in the Buddhist family, right? You're already like a Buddhist. So Buddhists by culture, sometimes we really not understanding. So when you grow up in this kind of environment, we always, teacher, master means we always have somebody there, very famous, have some titles, right? Some kind of maybe popular or anything. So we rely on them as a teacher, my root gurus. So you rely on them already. When you follow, like only follow because of they are famous or because of blah, 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 just reputation, then you are really not seeking them as a teacher and who can teach me. You just rely on them as a blessing, miracle. Oh, these masters will going to bless me, all my problem will solve. That kind of. So the intention is already not proper, perfect intention. Result comes that way. For them, what is the benefit of having this teacher? Simple, just blessing. So they go, keep going, getting just small blessing, that's all. So they didn't learn anything. Not learning anything, not achieving any realization. Right? How can they do practice? They do not know anything. So not knowing, how can you practice? Then, of course, what kind of achievement? Nothing. That kind of mistake we're making this oftenly, many peoples. So the teacher means I'm suffer by my ignorance. when we talk about the ignorance, according to the Buddhist psychologists, Buddha Dharma, ignorance not just one. All your mental afflictions, your negative emotions like your attachment, anger, jealousy, arrogance, selfish, right? Greeds, all the variety types of the destructive emotion, mental affliction which we have are part of ignorance. All of them part of misperception, ignorance. So each of these negative emotions, mental afflictions, create suffering, the problems, right? That's very clear. So we suffer because of these layers and layers of mental affliction, destructive emotion which we have. These are the ignorance. So that's why we suffer. So therefore, when the Buddha first, when he taught the Dharma, he talked about Four Noble Truths, right? Majority you know Four Noble Truths. He introduced all this suffering, truth of suffering coming from truth of origin of sufferings. When he introduced truth of origin of suffering, he didn't point something outside there. He pointed in your mind, your destructive emotions, your mental afflictions, your negative karma which creates by your mental afflictions. These are the truth of origin of suffering. So he introduced our suffering is coming from our own mental afflictions. So these are the wrong consciousness, mistaken consciousness. So when we say Buddha Dharma, right, Buddhist practice, Buddha's teaching, which means it's like a medicine to help us to cure each of our mental afflictions. That's called the Buddha Dharma. It's like a medicine, helps to cure, to overcome your own mental afflictions, your own karmas, right? That's so relying on teacher means we learn this. Somebody teach me. First, make sure I really understand my suffering is caused by my mental affliction. Today, many people still don't know that, right? Majority in today, when you look today, even they are really smart in materialistic, very high educated people, very high knowledgeable people. Still, they don't understand, means they don't know their mental affliction, their destructive emotions are the causes of that suffering. This kind of knowledge is very rare. It's not found easily, specifically in the Western countries. It's not found easily. So not having enough information, majority people, of course, they are not aware about these things, right? So that is how they never ever put effort, try to overcome their mental afflictions. So therefore, majority people have not worry about their mental affliction. They don't care, they have no interest, they have no fear, worry, concern to their mental affliction. Physical small things when they're going on, they're really concerned, right? When your face has certain kind of lines come up there, certain kind of colors, when they appear to your face, you may really concern, worry. But this heavy mental affliction inside there, when these things arises, we don't have worry. Why? Because still they do not know these mental afflictions are the causes of their sufferings. They started there. Therefore, not knowing these things, they cannot do practice. Even many Easterns, like a Buddhist, they do not know these things. Many Buddhists consider themselves as a Buddhist. They go to the temple quite oftenly, We can doing prayers, doing all kind of things for decades and decades. But still, they don't know their mental afflictions are the causes of suffering. Therefore, when they do the practice, they never use these, they never know this Buddha Dharma, the Buddha's teaching, the practice are like a medicine for cure your mental affliction. They really don't know that. So therefore they never apply to themselves the Dharma, they never apply to themselves to clean their mental affliction. Therefore, even you being decades and decades in the practice, your mental affliction never change, never decline. The anger is still same, the greeds are still same, the attachments are still same. It didn't change. Because they never try that way. They never apply in that way. Why? Because they do not know. So mistakes start where? Because of not rely on proper teacher, not find it, and are not looking these things. That's the first start. So when the first door is mistake, when you enter the door is mistake, everything's turned into the mistake. Right? Therefore, first, when you rely on the teacher means I am relying on that person who can teach me to overcome all my suffering. I will going to learn from them. It's not just only blessing. Blessing is the later things. It's not big deal. Big deal is to rely on them is to learn something. So since from the Buddhist perspective, we believe beginning life. Life is beginningless. Since beginningless to till today, I'm still circled in samsara, right? Still in samsara, means suffering of cycle existence. All my life, of course, wants to be happy. Whatever lifestyle we choose is for happiness. But still not get the real happiness, right? Still same samsara, circle there. Why it is? Because of we don't know how to get rid of sufferings. We don't know where it is coming from. Because we don't find the qualified, excellent teacher. I never looked that way, never researched that kind of teacher. So that's why not learning, not understanding, do not do anything. So my mental affliction never change. My ignorance not change. So remain living under the influence of this ignorance, this mental affliction. Of course, I will born into back to the same samsara and same circle, same sufferings, do same things again and again and again. That's how ended my life. And next is going that same way. So therefore now, in order to cut that chain, samsara chain, I really need somebody who can teach me, who can guide me, who can inspire me. So I need to find that type of teacher that's called qualified teacher, right? That's the first important. So that's why here, saying that relying on spiritual friends, spiritual teacher is the first preliminary practice. First, before you actually start it, because everything you're learning from this person, if this person do not know properly or only little know, then you rely on them, you get that kind of information, you ended up that kind of things, right? What you found it. So therefore, first to find the qualified teacher is very, very important. So when you search the teacher, don't look what title is that, what kind of population, popular, right? Fame, reputation. Then it's become business, right? Exactly same like business. They look in the title, because you are looking for title, you get that title person, right? You never found it. So that's why I'm relying on them. It's mainly something I can learn from them, right? Something I can learn from them. So this is the first door to enter the spiritual. First door, I need excellent guide, teacher. Then that person can guide me excellent path, and I can get there, the path where Buddha taught us, right? So if they mistake, then everything turn into that. So when you find that teacher, then you should have very good relationship. So that's how they say, cherish spiritual teacher even more than your own body, because your body, how much it's important, it's just for one life. It's gone. After that, you have to leave it. Spiritual teacher is for sake of enlightenment, right? This being we rely on them is not just one life. Your life after life, till you achieve Buddhahood, we need these things. So it's much more important than this body. That's why through understanding the value of your body and your teacher, the excellent qualified teacher, when you know that, then you feel more cherished. What is the benefit of cherishing that? It's nothing to do with the teacher side. If they cherish them, if they're not, it's nothing to do with there. As for the learner, the student, ourselves, when you have sense of very strong cherishing towards your teacher, that mind is drawn your life and leads your life into more spiritual, a more spiritual life. Spiritual life doesn't mean, morning I do prayer, I do this. Not only that. Spiritual life, which means the person becoming more aware, internal changing, inner quality, not only external. Right now, our life is 100% focused on external, material, right? Money, family, power, reputation, job, this possession, this. It's fully concentrate on external. That's the way we're doing. So spiritual life, which means, not only these things, it's also inside, mind. I need to care or more focus on inner development. I need to concern not only external job and these things, I also need to concern my inner enemy, my inner poisons, which are my destructive emotion, my ignorance. These are the one, right? What you call pulling us, tied us into samsara. So that kind of person becoming more internalized person, that's called spiritual. So these kind of things, because as long as when you are more closer cherishing to your teacher, these kind of feeling comes stronger, remain deeper, and that change your life into more internal focus. So that's why it's called cherish to the spiritual teacher. So now, what are the qualities of the teacher? Right? That's the first thing. What qualities we have to look? So according to the Buddhist, as a Vinaya, like a monastic, as a monks, when we first become a monk, you have your own kind of the teacher like your parents, because you are not stay in the house, lay house. You transform into monasteries. Now you have like a parents like who can always take care of you. That type of one teacher, right? Who is like your parents. So that's a Vinaya. So who to having these kind of teacher, they have their own quality, right? Then different type of the teacher for the Mahayana practitioner, different qualities. For the Vajrayana practitioner, upon their more qualities. So today here is specific, we are studying here Bodhisattvas practice, so the Mahayana. So according to this practice, the teacher qualities, according to the Maitreya Buddha, is the future Buddha. So he, have few texts. He wrote it. One of his texts is called the Ornament of the Sutra, right? So the ornament for the Mahayana Sutra. So that's the text called Ornament of Mahayana Sutra. He taught that teacher should have 10 qualities, right? The 10 qualities. The first quality, according to that text, he says, relying on a Mahayana teacher who is disciplined. First, called disciplined. Then second, serene. And third, thoroughly pacified. So 3 quality. Disciplined, which means moral, ethical life, moral ethics. Remain with a very moral ethics life. Serene, which is called the samadhi in Sanskrit, samadhi, concentration. Good concentration, right? Having higher, we call 3 higher trainings. Higher training of moral discipline, higher training of concentration, samadhi, higher training of wisdom, jnana. So, first, when they say disciplined, it's called higher training of moral discipline. Second, serene, higher training of concentration. Third, thoroughly pacified, it's called higher training of wisdom, right? These 3 higher trainings. Moral discipline, which means physical life, you should be moral, ethical life. Teacher, your physical behavior should be more moral, ethics, at least avoiding 10 non-virtuous actions, right? Avoiding 10 non-virtuous actions. Then different vows we have, different kind of the commitments. So you follow that. Mainly you're physically disciplined, right? Then serenity is the mental discipline, which means your mind is remain concentrate, not like a monkey minds go everywhere, not like a wild, right? Something training the mind, which has some calm, we call the calm abiding, right? Calm abiding, calm and disciplined. Then thoroughly pacified, which means wisdom, higher training of wisdom. So physical discipline, mental discipline, mainly among these, wisdom is the most important. Knowledge, wisdom. In order to overcome your ignorance, you need to have wisdom, right? So these 3 first. Then next, he says, has good qualities. Surpassing those of the students. So have good qualities surpassing those of the student. Of course, teacher have to have better understanding the Dharma from their student. Otherwise, what's the purpose, right? So you have better understanding the Dharma than your students. Then the next is called is energetic. So energetic, like effort, not lazy, right? To whatever they're teaching, whatever they do, have to have energetic. Has a wealth of spiritual knowledge. So teacher don't need to be very wealthy, material. It's the wealthy, the knowledge, right? Dharma. So teacher, one of the important is really good understanding the Dharma. That's very, very important. When we talk about good understanding the Dharma, Buddha Dharma is not just one thing. It's a huge, big philosophy, psychologies, logics, meditation. Then within the philosophy, variety tenets Buddhists have. better understanding, more understanding like that, students have more beneficial. Sometimes you are very good in the one subject, right? One subject, but not that much others. Then sometimes it's only one side you see. You cannot see from all 10 directions. So teachers who have very wealthy in spiritual knowledge, then student has more beneficial, right? More advantages we have. So teacher who have to have good knowledge. So today many people, they're not looking for the knowledge. They're going to look what title they have, how many students they have, right? So that's why sometimes they call Geshe. I have a title called Geshe, right? Then sometimes they call Rinpoche, then Eminence, and there's many other titles, Master, all kind of things. Then and then we, as a Tibetan, we believe in reincarnation. They're called Tulku. Then they say, oh, there are 15 reincarnation, 10, 20, 30, put them many, lineage. That's quite complicated. When you really think about the simple, every sentient beings, we born in this samsara since beginning less. Till today, our lineage is countless. Everybody has that, right? But put these kind of things, just some people, oh, this is much more higher, because there are many lineage. Or this may be less, because they don't have that much lineage. Kind of, oh, the superstitious, and putting these things that way. So here, when the Maitreya Buddha is saying is, he's never asking about any title, but it says, well-known the spiritual knowledge. So very wealthy on knowledge, dharma, right? That's the most important. Then also says, possessing loving concern. So that teacher should make sure have sincere love to their student, right? So teacher who don't have sincerely love to their student, then sometimes the intention will change. To have the student is for sake of gaining the money, power to yourself, because you're not concerned about them. Your focus is to get the money, or to get some power, or to get some reputation, fame. So that's how the mistake, when the teacher has mistake intention, the message come every time, always have some mistakes. So therefore, when the person has sincerely love to the student, they don't look about these other things, money or all kind of things. They really sincerely wants to help them, right? That type of person, teacher, if there exists, it's a huge benefit for the students. So one quality is possessing loving concern, has through knowledge of reality. So knowledge of reality, which means one of the unique Buddhist philosophy, emptiness. That's the most unique. That knowledge is very, very important. It's very difficult, this philosophy, but it is most important meditation. So teacher who knows this philosophy as a student, huge advantages. Teacher who do not know these things, then do some prayers, give some Buddha story, some small emotion things. That's 1 day, 2 days, years, decades and decades. Even you went to the temple for 20, 30 years, you never ever even know what's meant by emptiness. You have no idea. There's many students like that. So that's why the teacher, we have to have this knowledge of reality, ultimate reality. Then has skill in instruction disciples. So just having knowledge alone is not enough. They need to have very skillful how they deliver this message according to the others, people's and the mental capacity. Sometimes if you go too deep, they may not understand it. It will completely, misunderstanding or completely confused. So teacher need very skill how to deliver. I always telling to the, my friends, they always ask this question. Since Buddha till today. There are more than 2,500 years ago, right? This teaching is started from there. It's generation to generation they teach. They ask if they're teaching any change. Teaching, there's nothing to change. Emptiness is emptiness. Compassion is compassion. Same. But the style change. During the Buddha's time, after, Buddha, today, the way of the teaching style is changing. Because the people's way of their mental capacities are changing, their cultures are changing. According to the cultures, in the generation, you have to change the skill, which way you can deliver this message. That we need to change. That's called skill. So the main message, of course, nothing. If the real message is changing, then big danger, right? You may not going to reach where the Buddha taught us, where he showed the path. If they completely change, then you follow that path, you get it in the different destination, right? So the teaching is the same. Way of teaching, the style, and a way of the teaching is the different. Style is different. So that skill we need for the Eastern people, their tradition, way of teaching style, for the Westerner, way of this, teaching style, because each people have different backgrounds, different culture where they grow up. So that's why you need to have that skill. That's called one of the qualities, skill, is instructing disciples, and has abandoned disparityness. So disparityness, because when you're teaching sometime, you feel tired, you want to give up, or this never understand. You tell them go this way, they will go that way. So 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, eventually they give up. There's many situations like that. You have expectation, or take them into this path, you have goal to get this, but they will not go that way. They will go this way, or they will go that way, right? Then 1 time, 2, eventually they give up. So if the real qualified teacher is abandonment, disparativeness, how much go there? You still keep going tired, never give up. That kind of effort. So these are the 10 qualities for the Mahayana teachers. So when you research the teacher, these 10 qualities, you need to research. Do they have this or not? Number of these qualities are inner quality. So it's very hard to know. It's not easy. So that's why it is saying, don't just go and take, seeing them as a teacher. You can wait. You can take teaching. Receiving teaching doesn't mean he or she become your teachers, right? You receive teaching out of dharma friends, right? Out of spiritual friends. You can take a teaching. That's not become their teachers. Wait years and years. What this guy is saying, what he or she doing, what kind of behavior. You investigate, research, look, stay there, checking. So slowly, you may understanding the way of that person's lifestyle, way of they behave, what they teach, what they're doing, how they're living. So through that, you may understand that, they have those qualities. Even not all 10 perfectly, at least more, less than more they have. 5 or 6 they have at least. So something I can benefit. So that is how you need to search the teacher. This is very, very important. What you found the teacher, you get that message. So therefore it's your hand, which kind of teacher you have to look at. So it's very first important part is these qualities to teacher have or not. Sometimes we encouraging to the people, to listening the teaching, this or that. This is we encourage to learn, but not telling them he or she as your teacher. That's difficult That's danger. If you have not 100% sure, then you tell somebody they believe to you, and then eventually they find it out there's no qualify. Then you feel guilt. Not only you, the other person also put them difficult life, right? So encouraging them as a learn and study, right? Not as a seeing them as a teacher. So seeing them as a teacher from the Buddhist perspective is a little different way. It's something you rely on them sincerely. Seeing him or her as something I can 100% believe them. This person will definitely help me to overcome my suffering. Like a bigger thing is, helps me to get rid of all my problems, suffering, at least in these lives, right? To become a better person. So that kind of confidence, that kind of belief and trust people put there, right? When they put these trusts to them, then they need to make sure confidence, these people can guide them to there. So that's why these 10 qualities. So now when you have that, we're talking about guru devotion, means teacher and student relationship. So here when we say devotion, according to the text, devotion has two. Devotion through deeds, devotion through thoughts, two, right? Devotion through deeds and thought, among these two, devotion through thought, mental devotion is more important. Devotion through deeds is the external thing. You're serving to the teacher, your offerings, you do some massage and cleaning, all kind of things, right? This is the devotion, you're serving your teacher physically. But the mainly devotion through your thoughts, mind, mental devotion. What is that? Is called faith and respect attitude. Faith to your teacher, same as a Buddha. So that type of faith is not easy, right? Do you really understand or not? So respect, same as a Buddha. If you able to see Buddha in front of you, how much you can able to show your respect attitude. That same type of respect attitude you'll be able to show to your teacher. That's called proper devotions. So how should now devotion, faith and respect attitude is the meditation. That's how we say, when we say guru yoga practice, right? All the practice we do with the guru yoga. So the guru yoga practice, the sadhana, there are variety, hundreds of different sadhanas around there. Main guru yoga means guru, to your guru, your faith and respect attitude to your guru. That's called guru yoga. That's the essence of the practice. So how should cultivate faith? Faith through understanding the teacher's qualities. So you're always investigating the teacher qualities, right? Each of those 10 qualities, right? You can go much deeper level. So all these qualities, when you're thinking again and again and again, eventually that tremendous helps to you to feel tremendous faith to your teacher through understanding the qualities. Specific these 10 qualities. Then quality, what you call the realizations, right? Quality of body, speech, and mind, mainly the mental qualities. So all of this, you research, what you see, and you're thinking this again and again. That's how it makes you tremendous faith to your teacher. So what is the purpose of that? Faith to the teacher. Because traditionally Buddhists have no question these things. Oh yes, faith, yes, that's they're thinking. But of course, you have to have reason behind there, right? What is the purpose of having faith? Because when you tremendous feel faith to the teacher through understanding of these qualities, when you have real faith, that faith will take your life to have these same qualities. It's put you there, what you call, helps to cultivate inspiration to these qualities yourself. Your inspiration helps to cultivate effort to achieve these qualities toward oneself. That's why the faith helps. When you learn this Buddhist philosophy, sometimes some people very good know philosophy. They know these things academically, but they themselves never put it into the practice. That's lack of faith, because they don't have faith. They know the knowledge is very good, so not having enough faith, they never put themselves to practice. Do they know? Yes, no, but they never put effort there. Sometimes you learn the meditation, you know how to meditate, but yourself not meditating. These people there sometimes, because they do not have enough faith to this meditation can help me. Don't have that. That's why not putting. So becoming not academic, experiential level. To achieve the experiential level, faith is very important. Faith is not just blind, you believe. Faith which is through investigate, through understanding the value of each this quality, then that gives you tremendous joy, tremendous like a craving. I really want this, right? That kind of a belief is the faith. So having faith to the teacher is not my teacher is rich, my teacher is handsome, my teacher is power, right? That's not there. We have teacher to faith is quality they have. So when you have that devotion, it's drawn your life into that spiritual, becoming not only academic, it goes more in the experiential level, right? So that's why the faith. Then respect attitude. How should we cultivate respect? Through understanding the teacher's kindness. That's the very, very important. So there are many kindness, maybe for the layperson and teacher, different kind of relationship. As the monastics, as a monk, nuns, grow up in the monastery, your teacher is like your parents. So it's not only receive the teaching, there are many others, the parents who are helping to the children, exactly same they do. So you can look variety aspect to kindness of taking care of you, kindness of sharing the dharma, kindness of feeding you, all kind of protecting you, all kind of these things. When you're thinking about these kindness, it helps to you tremendous respect to your teacher, right? Respect attitudes. So therefore, general, as a people, our main kindness is kindness of sharing the dharma. That's the most important kindness. We respect tremendous to the Buddha. It's mainly because of that teaching, dharma, he shared us. That's the really important. This is the medicine. This knowledge, the dharma, can overcome all your problems, sufferings. It can cut the samsara sufferings, right? It can cut that kind of knowledge we receive, right, from our teachers. So as an ordinary person, we cannot see the Buddha, right? Buddha, we don't see. We just put statues or pictures, we pray. That's all. Actually, when rely on Buddha as a teacher, right, main thing is purpose of the teacher. But the ordinary person, we are not capable to utilize him in one of the most difficulty time. Today, our time is the most difficulty time because we don't have fully dharma there. So it's, samsara, all kind of problems. During that time, who helps us? Our teachers, right? That's according to the text says, teachers are more kinder than a Buddha. That's how we always meditate. For me, in this time, my teachers are more kinder than Buddha. Buddha, I never learned even one stanza, right? Everything, the knowledge I learned from my teachers, for me, the teacher is the most kinder than Buddha. That's how, remember the turning the wheel of Dharma. Teach us, guide us, inspiring us, leading us constantly, decades and decades. Through that, kindness, you remember this again, then you're cultivating your respect attitude, right? So finally, tremendous faith and respect to your teacher from deep of your heart. When you're able to do that, that's called Guru devotion. This is the essence of Guru Yoga practice. And this practice for the Buddhist practitioner, this is the source, this is the ground. Every rest of the realization will grow from that devotion practice. So Guru devotion is the ground. So when you have that solid ground, rest of other realization will come later, will much faster, much easier. So therefore, here, this stanza, it says, when you rely on them, your faults come to an end, and your good qualities grow like a waxing moon. Cherish the spiritual teacher even more than your own body. This is the practice of bodhisattvas, right? Then final, one important part. When you say, I have a devotion to the Guru, that doesn't mean whatever Guru say, I just listen, I just follow. Absolute not. So we have to be very skeptical. This specific in this degeneration time, we have lots of issues like these problems. So because sometimes people misunderstanding Guru devotion, Guru devotion, which means whatever Guru tell, I just do it. I just follow that way. That doesn't mean that. So I will use here the quote, a very good quote here. Lam Rim text by Lama Tsongkhapa. Here this master, Lama Tsongkhapa, is called the Lam Rim Chemo. There are 3 volumes in English translation. The first volume. Here the caution. What they caution, we must practice in accordance with the Guru's words. Then what if we rely on the Gurus and they lead us to an incorrect path or employ us in activity that are contrary to the 3 vows? Should we do what they say? That's the caution, right? If we follow Guru, if the Guru teaches something wrong, mistake path, something contradict with the Dharma, should we follow or not? That's the caution. Reply, the answer here. Lama Tsongkhapa says, with respect to this caution, he first not going to give his own answer. He used Buddha's quote, what the Buddha says. Gunaparpa Sutra, there's one sutra, the Buddha's text. Sutra means text. One of the sutra texts called the Gunaparpa, which means discipline. The Sutra of Discipline, Vinaya, right? Sutra of Discipline. What they say in that sutra, it says, if the abbot means teacher, if the abbot instruct you to do what is not in accord with the teachings, right? If your teacher instruct you what is not in accord with the teaching, with the Dharma, right? It's not accord with the Dharma, then the answer here Buddha says, refused. You should refuse, you should reject it, right? So we have to be smart now. Even though your kind Guru instruct you something which is not according to the Dharma, it contradicts with the Dharma, what should we do? Refuse that, reject it. Rejecting Buddha's word Guru's word doesn't mean it's disrespect, right? It doesn't mean that disrespect. Even Buddha himself saying, don't accept whatever he says. You should logic investigate, right? If the things have correct, valid reason, we take it. If this is incorrect, wrong reason, refused, right? Reject it. So exactly the same that way. So that's why sometimes we call the cult, brainwash, right? Then whatever they say you follow ended up there big problems. It can possible. So that's why remain skeptical. Tremendous devotion. It's called the middle way. Devotion is still same as a Buddha. Skeptical. Always investigate. Point is, whatever teaching, whatever saying is something, this instruction is increasing your destructive emotion. If something leads your behave negative, then you should stop, right? Reject it. It's creating suffering, not happiness, right? So he has few sutra here, Lama Tsongkhapa quoted. We don't have time today, so go to each detail. Mainly his point is that have to remain skeptical. Then the last point is, now you already have guru and student relationship, right? You already have that. Now guru is guiding all this mistake again and again, guiding so much. What should we do now? Because he or she already my guru now. Before I do not know, I see him or her as a guru. We have a student and teacher relationship. Now our realizing is not qualified, it's instructions all mistake, this, all these things. What should we do? Of course, now skeptical, the things which they talk about something contradict with the Dharma, you can reject it. But also because of this mistake information, he or she guides you. Because of that reason, if you're keeping anger, hatred, negative thoughts to your guru, that's not good. That's disturb your guru devotion. So, because you make decisions seeing them as a guru, keep that same faith and respect attitude, but the mistake when they guide you, reject it, refuse it. Because of that reason, you don't need to be angry or hated anything, right? Still, things reject you, it's not accord with it. Keeping your faith and respect attitude, same as Buddha. That's the best way to keep your guru devotion practice, right? So this is the today stanza 6, guru devotion practice. So then when you're understanding this philosophy, then when you practice on called guru yoga, then you know main practice where we should focus. Sometimes too much visualization, too much prayer here, there. We lost the main point. Main point is we lost, and we are hanging with the little branches here, then we think this is the word very important. But it's not. The main point is this guru yoga is your guru devotion, right? So as long as when you have this devotion tremendous, your devotion will inspire you, leads you to your life into spiritual, means becoming more aware to internal changing, right? That's why it's important practice. Okay, we're going to stop here. Our final dedication. Om mani padme hum. 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 me ho, Om mani padme hum. And thus, honorable, compassionate gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic traps, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. And thus, honorable, compassionate gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic traps, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. Oi te nai ji ti la ya mai tu ji che ya mai ju to ve ti to ne ma li da lai mi pa da ji de Geshe la da wa yi do ku de ta de ba ji ki lo do ku de ta de ba ji ki lo chanjo semjo rinpoche ma ke pa nam ke ju chi ke ba nyam ba me pa kone kondo pe wa sho. May the precious and sublime bodhicitta not yet born be born, and that which has been born not decline, but increase forever. Okay, thank you. So one of the good dedication is, I just give you little information. Just when we dedicate the marriage, specific like this teaching, we always dedicate our future life till achieve Buddhahood. Always find the good quality, good qualified teachers. Always inseparable, born with our great qualified teachers. So it's a good dedication. These are important to having good teacher in this life, to having good teacher in our next life. So dedications helps, in the next life, again, to find the qualified teachers. Thank you.